Hello everybody, Drew here, tip of the Mitt Flips, where I'm a stay-at-home dad and a part-time eBay reseller. And every 100 subscribers there's a giveaway. So if you're watching, make sure you subscribe so you have a chance to win. I walked through a spider web. Ugh. Before I get started, if I get started, because I don't even have my stuff ready, I have to make some corrections because I will always give my opinion on something. I will always tell the truth. And I will always admit when I'm wrong. People who can't admit when they're wrong are destined to fail. The eBay standard envelope. I was wrong on 2 points. One, I'm pretty mad at myself about because I harp on it constantly. I can't believe I just used that term. That's something my dad says. I've never said that before in my life. I say constantly, you need to know the nitty-gritty. You need to know the granular. That's where you make your money. And I misquoted how much a stamp was. I'm new to doing the stamped through TCG Player, just sending stuff in a plain white envelope, PWE as they call it in the business. So I'll forgive myself, but actually, eBay standard envelope is cheaper than a stamp. That's cool. Second point, I still would not consider that tracked. It's scanned, like I said before, it's scanned it when you drop it off. It's scanned at the post office that it ends up on. Whatever, that's not really tracked. But it is technically, and I will use the word technically, insured. Because I don't think it's insured. What I think it is that eBay is, if there's an issue where it doesn't get scanned at its final destination or never shows up, eBay's willing to eat that cost. So I don't think it's insured. I think it's more of they eat the cost and then a tax write-off, but that is without any proof. That's just me in the wording. It's never mentioned the word insured. It's like buyer coverage or seller coverage or something like that. They never say the word insured. So my guess is that's why they put the cap at $20, because they said, well, we don't want people to just magically lose $1,000 card in the mail and we have to cover it, because that's exactly what I would do. I would be sending every single card I could, no matter the price, because eBay would cover it. So insured, I don't think so, but either way, that's great. I love that. Because if you don't know, if you're fairly new, priority mail. If I have an issue with a box that's insured through priority mail, I don't even make a claim on that. The time for me is not worth it. And that's how most large companies work. I am not a large company, but there's a reason why they don't mess with it. They just give you the refund and move on with their day, because the time it takes to recoup that, you could make more money than the money you lost. So, and I say constantly, my time is expensive, very expensive. So time, that's towards the top. And that's also why I still, at this point, say TCG Player for cheap cards is a superior platform, because the time it takes me to create a listing, I've never timed myself, but, you got to take a picture, you got to price comp, and with stuff like Pokemon cards, you got to wade through sometimes hundreds of just fake listings or fake cards that will say like not real, or a bunch of digital versions and all this other stuff you got to wade through. It's time consuming. So minimum, I'm going to say it probably takes 4 or 5 minutes. Whereas TCG Player, I listed, they were all from the same set, they were pre-sorted, and I listed, it was like 470 cards in, I don't know, it might have taken me 10 minutes, but I don't think it did. Very, very cheap cards, but it's the time really, but I was wrong. I was still going to use both services. It wasn't going to change any of that. Just, I don't want to be putting anything that's false out there. That's why when I started talking, I said, if I'm wrong, please correct me. And a couple people did, few people did in the comments. I appreciate that. One person did get removed, booted. Correct me when I'm wrong. Do not be rude about it. That is never necessary. You will just get blocked. You'll just be gone. The view don't matter at that point. The comment doesn't matter at that point. The likes, the clicks, any of that, none of that matters. I don't, again, have time for negativity. I just don't got time for it. Speaking of cards, my battery's gonna die and then I'll have to swap it out, but I'll try to get this in real quick. I bought a bunch of them. My friend Jordan stopped by. This is all the commons and uncommons. These are 100 card bricks. There's a lot of them there. These two are full of like hollows, reverse hollows. This one was the one I listed today. I listed I listed all the higher dollar cards immediately to try to recoup some of the money. And then I had a package supposed to arrive today that was going to be, I don't know, like 3,500 cards or something like that. I don't remember the exact number, 3,700 cards. But my FedEx driver walked to my front door, stuck the sticker on my door saying, "Hey, we tried to reach you," and then left. Did not try to reach me. I was furious. I called FedEx and was like, "Oh, nothing we can do about it." I said, "I can see them down the road. I can't leave. I got a toddler, but I can see them. You can't call them and tell them to turn around. I could throw a rock and hit their vehicle." I was livid. Because they're like, "Oh, okay, well, they'll just be back tomorrow." Okay, so now I gotta be there. They're like, "They'll be there sometime before 8 p.m. Okay, that's a good window of time. Sometime before 8 p.m. Thank you very much, FedEx. Ooh, let's see if I can make a sale real quick. That'll make me happy. That's a little cheap. I don't think so. I'm going to counter $19.99. All right, so hopefully we hear a cha-chings at some point. Let's go ahead and pull some orders. Let me calm down a little bit. And I'm actually not rushed today. Randomly, things worked out where Jen ended up not working today. There was some appointments and stuff, which cleared up my day. But that never means I'm not busy. That just means I get more time to work, which I'm very happy about. I need more time to work. B3 is a Star Wars Comtech B3. It's a Comtech chip reader and then a bunch of chips. And I'm not going to get it out, but what it is this little walkie-talkie looking thing. And then all these little chips, I think they would come with action figures, I think. And then the action figure, like each one would have, you'd like scan it, and each one would have different voice things it would say. I think that's how you got the chips. But that's kind of a guess. I think I remember that from when I was looking it up to sell it. $23.99 free shipping for that. I got that in a Mikhail mystery box, so paid less than $1. Next up, ooh, it's the man, Michael Bolton. What a guy. Let's see, Michael Bolton. Oh, right here on top. It's more than one, though, and I think, right, it was a set? Well, at some point, I had these all rubber banded, and then the rubber bands let loose because that's how long they sat here, because I shouldn't have listed them in the first place. Kenny G, Michael Bolton, there we go. Those were very mixed up. But we have 3 Michael Bolton cassettes. Let me make sure. 3, actually, those other 2 went with it. One of them is like a Kenny G, and then the other one is, what is this? Heart to Heart Memorable Duets. So I made a lot of, what I call it, like smooth jazz or something? Soft rock, that's what I called it. And for those 5 cassettes right there, $8.99 free shipping. Those will go medium mail, but that's, again, not worth it at all. Next up, D1 is a Louisville Slugger baseball mitt. D1 Louisville Slugger. For this one right here, not in amazing shape. It will need to be reconditioned if somebody's going to actually use it, which of course they will. Why would you buy a glove you're not going to use unless it's an antique? $20 plus shipping. Usually gloves, Jen must have listed this one, because gloves are one of those things where I put them in a padded flat rate envelope. So usually I bake the shipping costs into the price and then just make it free shipping. I'll make a few bucks on the shipping, so that's cool. Next up is a remote Funai for an Emerson TV. Funai. Isn't that Funai? Wow, that was a terrible joke. Because isn't that funny? Bad. That's a bad joke. All right, let me grab the whole bag. All right, it's this one right here. And this looks so familiar. Like, I think that might be the remote. Now, of course, remotes are sometimes generic and a lot of them look alike. But I honestly think that might be the remote from my television I had as a child. But, yeah, I think it is. but I don't know that for sure. And it does say TV VCR, which mine was not. $7.50 free shipping for that. Next up on A4 is 1989 McDonald's A1, 2, 3, 4 Happy Meal toys. They are Peanuts. Peanuts gang. Right here. I got these at a garage sale. I think I paid, oh, right here. That's the bag it came in. I paid $1 for all of them, and I took an offer, $10 free shipping. Actually, at that garage sale, I got those. I got a bunch of the Fisher Price, like the little ones with the circle. They're like a, you know, circle head, oval, a spherical head, and then a circle body. I don't know, Fisher Price ones. You know what they are. And those I made a couple lots, and then there was a couple nice ones in there. Same thing, paid $1, sold a couple individually, and the rest as a lot. But at that garage sale, I also bought a Pokemon card collection. Unfortunately, it was at the height of the Pokemon card boom, so I overpaid. And overpaid as in, I wish I would have paid less, not overpaid as in I lost money, because I have a PSA order coming back with some cards that were in that one. And once they finalize your order, which if you don't know, PSA is a card grading company. I don't want to get them out, but they put them in these like plastic slab thingies like these right here. Once they finish your order, you can just look at your order and the grades you got. And it worked out. Unlike when I graded all the basketball cards, I broke even. With the Pokemon cards, I'll make a couple $100 off those specifically. But then there was a bunch of other ones that I listed on my TCG player account. So overall, it ended up being probably a double up. I think I paid $300 for all of them. And I'll probably, after everything's said and done, fees, all that kind of stuff, I'll probably have profited about $300. But it was last summer, 2 summers ago. It's been a long time. So it's still going to be another year before I make all those profits. So that's why I wish I would have paid less. Next up, it's a book. Very interesting one. Babysitters Club. Oop, kicking stuff. Babysitters Club Trivia and Puzzle Fun Book. And this is, it's like partially filled out, but I think mostly empty. If I'm remembering from whenever I listed this. Yeah, some stuff filled out. But this, I got $22.49 free shipping. Yeah, for this. There's not a Babysitters Club book in the entire collection worth that, but for that random trivia puzzle fun book, I got $22.49 free shipping. I think I sent out an offer. My guess is because the books, mass-produced, overproduced, reprinted. This was probably printed one time for like a, yep, it says Scholastic, for like a Scholastic book fair season, and then never reprinted again would be my guess. Probably, and this is just guessing, of course, but I like to do that. I like to try to figure out why I think somebody would have bought something. Maybe there's people that do like a complete collection. They want all the Babysitter Club's books, and then plus any add-ons that existed. Or maybe somebody got this at a Scholastic book fair and said, oh, you remember that trivia book? Da 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 da. But again, I have no way to figure that out. It's just fun to think about. Next up, D3, Stone City Wizard. That's a weird brand name. D123. They are webbing replacements for a lawn chair, for the webbed lawn chairs. And this lot right here, I got $15 free shipping. I accepted an offer. I know that because it's a round number, and I never send out offers for round numbers. I'm well into the profit on those webbings already, so everything I make on those is profits. And then next up, B5B12 is a Sherry collection. B5B, oh, right here, great, 12. Number just sticking out. It's like I staged it or something. For this one right here, going through the international shipping program, which I haven't had an international order in a minute, and another fun thing I like is to see where they're going. So let's figure that out together. All right, it's going to Australia, so other side of the world. $19.99 free shipping, plus they paid like $15, I remember seeing it somewhere, $15-ish to eBay to get it to them. I did send out an offer on that one. Oh, speaking of Australia, I'm getting a little nervous because I don't like to deal with death piles, money pile, whatever you want to call it. I like to try to get stuff in, get it listed, not sit around stuff, not move stuff. That's the main thing. I don't like to have to move things from here to my storage unit, from my car to, you know, once it's in the garage, it needs to get listed or gone. And I'm getting overwhelmed because stuff's starting to crowd on me. I'm starting to buy cards that are coming in by the thousands. I think after that one comes in, I'll have like 15,000 cards to list. It's a lot. And then garage sale season's coming out. But speaking of Australia, man, I talk in circles. But I always try to come back around. There's a lady who owned a restaurant, delicatessen type thing in town here. And she's from Australia, and she's moving back to Australia. She, through someone else, found out I'm a reseller and said, hey, I got a storage unit I need to clean out. You want to come look at it? Maybe, you know, we can make a deal on some stuff or whatever. And I said, of course I want to do that. Of course. I caught wind that, you know, a lot of it's like her restaurant stuff, which I'm not going to deal with any of that because I don't have the storage. I don't even have a truck. Like, how am I going to haul this? But she had like, the guy that I was talking, that was like intermediating between the two of us, he said she had like a $10,000 Frappuccino machine or something. But I'm not dealing with that. Like, what am I going to do with it? I'm not going to ship it. I'm not going to pay you $2,000 to make $5,000. That's still just, even though would be a great flip. I don't live in an area. If I lived in a big city, yeah, because I'd bring it home, I'd list it on Marketplace and wait 3 weeks to a month till it was gone. Take whatever money I got. Yeah, of course I would do that. But I'm just, if I go there and it's a lot of stuff, I'm gonna buy it. I'm never gonna pass on good stuff. But then, you know, like I said, I'm working a lot less, so I don't want to overwhelm myself. I'm already feeling a little overwhelmed. I don't know. We'll see. The best part of it though is she let me know that today is Wednesday, that I think we're gonna meet up tomorrow. Her storage unit is paid up through Saturday, and she leaves on Monday. So I don't know about her, but if I was in that position, I would be taking any money somebody offered so that I don't have to, what are you going to do with it? You're not taking it with you. You're not going to ship it to Australia. So I think that puts me in a real good position to get stuff at a real good price. And also, like, it's not like I'm trying to mess her over. It would still be doing her a favor. It'd be, she gets money that you can put in your pocket and leave with, and I get stuff that I turn into more money that I put into my pocket. You don't usually get that info where you know you have the upper hand in the negotiation, so I am definitely happy about that. I'm upfront with people. I tell them all the time, I'm gonna offer you about 30% of what it's worth. And what I know it's worth, not what you think it's worth, what I know it's gonna sell for. Because even that 30%, I might end up taking another 20% off when I finally sell it and, you know, make it a lot less. So you got to have some wiggle room in there. Whenever I tell people 30%, they turn their nose up at it, but that's because they don't know. I don't like hold it against them. I say, okay, if that's not good enough for you, then sell it to the next person that's not going to pay you more than that. And one last thing, before I get to use some of this extra time that I randomly got today, I get my bubble wrap from American Bubble Boy. Not sponsored. Definitely not sponsored. Since I switched over how I do stuff and I ship a lot smaller things, you know, I don't mess with big electronics. I no longer buy large bubble. I probably shouldn't have in the first place. Medium bubble, if you're using large bubble, medium bubble is superior. It's just better. The bubbles are closer together. When you wrap large bubble around, you know, a large electronic, something like this, what'll happen is the corners will end up between the bubbles. And then it ends up with too much of a buffer. It's medium bubble. Give it that's why I said, okay, medium bubble, I never heard of it. Let me try it. I bought one roll, tried it, never bought large bubble again. But I go through a roll of medium bubble, I don't know, once every 3 months, 4 months now. That's how little I use of that because I pack smaller things. I'll double up with small bubble. I go through small bubble on a regular basis. I always buy 750 feet, 12-inch, small bubble. Same order every time. I go back to my order and I just order again. But I order ahead of time. So you might see it behind me there. I order ahead of time. So those bubbles right there, I ordered 9 months ago. Like a significant time. When I go to storage, I look, I say, okay, I have room for more bubble. I will order that, fill that spot, and then replenish from there. I never want to be out. There's no reason to. This is my lifelong job. Always order ahead, order extra. Why not? Then I finally get it here and I undo it and it's 24 inch. There's no split. It's 700, it's 300, whatever it is. 700 feet is the normal one. So this would be 350 feet, but it's, no, let me take that back. It's still 700 feet, square feet. I think that's how they measure it, but it's the 24 inch. There's no split in the middle, which it's annoying. Is that the end of the world? No, but the part that is annoying and is making me very angry is I've been trying to contact American Bubble Boy for 3 days. I've sent them 2 emails. I've went through their help chat every single day. And nothing, just crickets. And their customer service, the last time I dealt with it, was for a positive reason, but it was top notch. The owner, CEO, whatever you want to call him, of the company, called me one time because I left a good review on my order. I said, hey, you guys are doing it great. Your shipping times are awesome. And I just put that like in my order thing. I wanted the guys in the warehouse or in the factory to get that on the order sheet and go, okay, I'm doing a good job today. Because, you know, sometimes you work a factory job, how many times you get a pat on the back? And that's why I did it. And then Joel reached out to me. I didn't even answer the phone call because I was like, I don't know, whatever. My time is expensive and I'm busy. But he left me a message, reached out to me, because they had superior customer service. And now I'm on day 3, almost to day 4, of no contact at all about a messed up order. I don't understand it. I'm not going to start bad-mouthing them yet, but I mean, that's just, in my opinion, that's ridiculous. 3 days. Like 1 day, sure. Sure. I mean, maybe the person was in the office. It was towards the end of the day. They'll get back to me in the morning, send me an email first thing the next day. Some type of communication. But I'm talking nothing. I don't know. I'll message them again here after I get some lunch at 4 o'clock or something. I don't know. It's not like I'm going to do something about it. They still have the cheapest, you know, relatively good quality for the price. Shipping times are still great, like that, all that. I'm disappointed. I'll pull the dad move. I'm not mad. I'm disappointed. And my thought is, I think I'm going to attempt to just take a utility knife and on my nice roller here and just kind of split it. Because, I mean, if not, every time I pull a piece off, I'm going to have to cut it in half or even smaller. That's, again, time. It sucks up time. I'm going to waste time to try to contact them. I'm going to have to waste my time to cut it. I don't have extra time. I get up in the morning and I do things until I go to bed. There's no breaks. There's no stopping. I do that every single day. So when somebody takes that time from me, whoever that happens to be, I'm flabbergasted, annoyed, angry, all those things. I have no time. Someone the other day said, oh, I went and saw this movie. You should go check it out with your girlfriend. I laughed because I was like, what? Are you serious? I haven't been on a date in a year, maybe more. I don't even remember the last time we went on a date. And people say, well, you got to. How? How do I get to do that? Where does this magical extra time come from? And one last thing before I stop wasting my own time. I think I'm avoiding doing stuff right now. Maybe I'm just taking a break. Maybe this is me taking a break, talking to you guys. Speaking of time, you know what? Boop, 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 boop. Tip of the day. The tip of the day is your most valuable resource in your life is time. Be careful how you dole that out. Yeah, if you want to sit on the couch and watch a show, that's perfectly fine. But be aware that you are giving up the most valuable asset you have. Everyone's time is finite. Everyone gets a certain amount, and you don't get to decide how much that is. So how you dole that out, how you divide that throughout your day, throughout your months, years, life, that's up to you. But you don't get it back. Once it's gone, it's gone. And one of those things that I have realized with selling super cheap cards is that, and with everything else, that's how my business has transformed is, how can I cut the time down? What do I need to do? If I've got to spend a couple extra dollars to save the time, I'm going to do that every single time. So I started listing smaller items, started shipping smaller items, things that didn't need as much attention when packing, buying certain size boxes and every variety of poly bag in every size I could possibly need, so I don't have to resize things or just extra time. Every little thing adds up. And so for these super cheap cards, I figured out, okay, I need to get this process down to like every single thing. I know how long it's going to take me, as quick as possible, easy as possible, all that kind of stuff. So as far as storing cards, I think for now, I'm going to back off of using the 5-row box. I'm going to put each set in its individual box. I think that will be easier for me to grab one and pull the cards I need. I think that'll speed up that process. I've tried out, I don't know, probably 10 different shipping options inside an envelope. There's many ways to package the cards. And the one that I found that was the most economical, and then probably my second favorite option, is a thing called ship shields. And all they are is, it kind of looks like a top loader. I mean, as far as size, if you know what that is, this is a top loader. The plastic thing that your cards go in that load through the top. They're about that size, and they're cardboard, and they have a fold over top, and they fit more cards. They, like I said, again, economical. They're cheaper by, I think it was over 3 cents a unit. So that's a lot when you're talking about shipping things. Like that total order over here is about, I don't know, I don't need to pick it up, is about $6 profit. So I need that to take me under a minute. I need the packing process to take under a minute. So I need to get all that stuff figured out. I figured out that quickly that the thing that takes me the longest time, that shouldn't, is putting the return address on envelopes. And I could just order envelopes with my return address, but in order to make that economical, I had to order a lot. And I have so many envelopes around the house right now that I want to at least go through those before I make that commitment. So I ordered a stamp, a self-inking address stamp, return label stamp. It was cheap, super cheap. The reviews are all over the place, so it could be a piece of trash. But it's Amazon, so if it's trash, I'll get my money back and I'll order another one until I get a good one. It was like $12 for a custom, like super cheap. Why not? So I'll use that until at least the ink runs out. And all these little things, just trying to cut off a little time everywhere until I get the process down to something that makes sense. It's not there yet. It's taken me way too long to process these orders. To process one order is about the same amount of time it takes me to pull all of the other orders. I mean, of course, I still got to pack them, but it's taking me way too long right now. But yeah, ship shields. They super cool. It was during lockdowns and shipping supply issues. Top loaders became unavailable and extremely expensive. And what happens when they raise the price of something? It doesn't come back down. It came back down a little bit, but it'll never go back to its original price. So they are very expensive. Even if you buy them in bulk, they're still super expensive. So this paper company, or this gentleman, hired a paper company to start producing these things. And now they made in USA. They come out of Minnesota. I'm not sponsoring anything. I'm just telling you about them. Of course I'm not sponsored. I'm not sponsored by anything. I wish. That'd be awesome. Maybe I'm going to call them up. Say, hey, give me an affiliate link or something. But yeah, so, you know, top loaders, those all come from China. So it's made in USA. Minnesota, I mean, that's not great for shipping times to me, but free shipping through their website, I'm excited for them. I've received cards in them enough times that I'm confident in them. I've only sent cards out in them once. But the part I like about the most is they're not clear. So when I put them in an envelope, I don't have to wrap them in something, because if I just put a card in a top loader, an envelope, and the person delivering it sees that it's a $15 card or person, whatever, you can just look at it and you can see it. I don't care for that. Those should actually be here tomorrow. That might have been what FedEx was supposed to be dropping off. I have no idea what that package was. Well, that's gonna be all for this one. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, go ahead and give it a thumbs down. Subscribe, share, and be good to each other. Just really neat. Hey, cheap. Do they ever really fix things? I have no idea what this is. What do I care? Let go. I'm good at this.